focusing on all these kind of like petty things or all these like insignificant things isn't going to help us get to the plan that the Lord has for us. What is up, guys? My name is Tequila and welcome back to Wonderfully Made in Christ. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded, and I definitely want to do better about trying to be more consistent for y'all and just for myself, because this is something that I'm just really enjoying doing, and I'm hoping that y'all are definitely just that something of Christ is being imparted through y'all as well. So yeah, I want to be better about being consistent. So if y'all want to pray for me even on that, like, I will accept that. Like, yeah, I'd appreciate that. But anyway, I'm glad and I'm happy to be back. And so today we're going to be talking about, well, first things first, if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make videos about my faith, my walk in Jesus, different things that I feel like the Lord is speaking to me and sharing with me, and just videos, fun little fashion videos here and there, thrift hauls, books where I just sit down and talk about my opinion and my views on certain matters. And if any of that floats your boat, piques your interest, or if you just like seeing my face or enjoy being on the other side of the screen and enjoy hanging out with me, hit that subscribe button. It would mean oh so much to me. And if you end up enjoying this video, you know what to do. Please hit that subscribe button so that more people can see this video and it can see it. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about the topic for today. Today we're going to be talking about the Will Smith slap. I know I'm a little late to the game on that, but I know last week or so, roughly, whenever it happened, a lot of people were talking about it. I remember I was like on my lunch break, like at work, and I heard two ladies talking about it, and it was all over social media. I think it has like 1 million different memes. And so yeah, it's been a pretty hot topic that people have been talking about. And so what I kind of really want to do with this video is not necessarily talk about whether I think the slap was right or wrong or not, or what side I stand on with all that. I want to talk a little bit more about why are we talking so much about this when it really doesn't pertain to us in any way, shape, or form. I was actually talking to one of my friends the other day, and of course, like, most of us know who like Will Smith and like Chris Rock are. You know, a lot of us like grew up like watching like their different stuff, whether it's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or other things that like Chris Rock was in, you know, Madagascar and like some other stuff. However, let's get real, y'all. We don't know these two men, you know? So someone was saying that someone posted on like Twitter or something about how like with Chris and Will, it's basically like your two uncles are fighting at like the family reunion. It's like you kind of understand like where Will is coming from, but also you feel bad for like Uncle Chris too. And I don't know, I just thought that was literally so funny, because sometimes we feel like we know these people, right? But we don't. Like, these people are going on about their lives, not caring about us because they ultimately don't know us. So that brings me to the point. Why is it that we're so quick to talk about people and things that don't pertain to us? So let's dig a little deeper with that. What I want to also focus on and talk about a little bit is this idea of just, well, not this idea, but about gossip. Because I think I would kind of put this, even though we don't know these people, I kind of would put this underneath, you know, the definition or the category of gossip. I feel like, I mean, I'd have to look up the exact definition of something, but I feel like gossip is when we take the time to talk about people and different things that kind of, I guess, degrade the person's character. And also, I feel like when we gossip, we're talking about something that typically it doesn't relate to us. It's outside of us. Maybe for some of us, you know, it is like this person is in your inner circle and you're talking about them. But typically when we gossip, we're talking about someone in a way, whether they did this thing or they are not, but we're talking about someone in a way that puts down their character. So we're talking about, you know, their flaws, something we heard about them that like is maybe like a character flaw, or just typically we're talking about them in a bad way, whether we know the person or not. Like, I mean, I guess there's different varying degrees. Obviously, most of us don't know Chris Rock and Will Smith, but there's different varying degrees, you know, I would say, of gossip. So why is it that we're so prone to talk about things kind of that really are none of our business? I definitely believe like there's something in us as human beings that like craves to feel better than other people. I know that maybe sounds bad. If you're really honest with yourself, maybe if you took that time, you'd realize, kind of feeling better than other people, it feels kind of good, And I'll be honest, like I've been there. There's parts of my heart, even recently, if I'm being honest, the Lord really had to do an exposing work in me and show that there are times that it makes me feel really good to feel better than other people. And that, of course, is not good. Like, that's not right. But it's just the sinful heart of man, if we're being honest. And so, if you're like, I guess, like in the same boat, I guess I just would challenge you to think about why it is that you're gossiping. If you're always the person who, is bringing up gossip, is always talking about people, always putting different people's names, like in your mouth, I would think, and I'm not trying to come out at you from a place of judgment because I've gossiped before. I'll raise my hand. I've done it. I have, and the Lord has convicted me about that. And I'm not saying I'm perfect and that I have, ever since He convicted me, I never gossiped again, because that's not true. But I do just try to be a bit more intentional now about what it is I'm conversing about. Like, I don't want to always be conversing just about other people, because that's of no gain to me. It's of no gain to them, especially if I don't know this person. I can't speak from a place of full truth about something I don't know. And it's no gain, Like, typically when you talk about someone, especially with like gossiping, all it is death. There's nothing of goodness or of life or of value to be imparted, typically, ever in gossip. So that's why I do try to stay away from that now. But I just challenge you, like, if you are someone who, like, whether you gossip all the time, or you do engage in it every now and again, where is that coming from? What is the heart behind that? So is it coming from a place of insecurity? So let's get honest. Like, a lot of us do have different insecurities. Maybe we see something or someone that has something that we want or that we've been praying for, or just has like, there's a certain insecurity that like we have, maybe it's something like with our bodies, or even like our intelligence, or even just you feel like someone just has a great personality and you feel like you maybe struggle in that way to be as like open and outgoing and connecting with people. So think about it. Is the reason you're talking about this person is because they have something that you want or you feel like you don't have? Because let's get real, like that sucks. Some things are like petty, maybe someone I don't know, like has a really nice nose and you don't like your nose, so you get to a place of bitterness and you talk bad about them because you are upset that they have a nice nose and you feel like that you don't. That's kind of petty, but I don't know, we've all gone through our different seasons of life, so I can't even comment on how, oh, like, you shouldn't do that. Of course we shouldn't, but it's like I've been there. I've been upset about like petty things too. But is it coming from a place of insecurity, and that's why you're talking like badly about this person? And then something else, I guess, to kind of ask yourself is it coming from a place of just like, this person has a lot of the different things that you want. Let's say, okay, I don't know, like they're married and like you wanted to get married, and that say they have like a nice business, they have a nice car, they have like a really good friend group, they're super smart, they're this, they're that. Like, in some ways it's like, oh, you aspire to be a lot of the things that they present themselves to be or that they are, and so that's why you're talking badly about this person. And like, that's not okay. I just really would just encourage all of us to like, let's check our hearts. What is in our hearts that is like it's causing us to maybe speak badly about people, or that's causing us to not connect with people in the way that the Lord wants us to. So is there jealousy in our hearts? Like I just kind of just mentioned, is there comparison? Is someone, they have something, or have a feature or a thing or a something, and like it's an insecurity in you, and so you go about comparing yourself to the thing that they have, and so you feel insecure because like the thing that they have highlights the insecurity that's in your own heart. So is it comparison? Is it anger? Is anger in your heart? Is it that you haven't forgiven someone, or you haven't I don't know, or another thing in your life, someone talks about something and it triggers something for you that happened in your childhood or your past, or just brings up some trauma for you. And that's why you maybe are talking badly about like this person or the situation or this whatever. Truly just ask the Lord to like remove the rocks that are in your own heart. Because if there's anything that I'm learning is I feel like we all have some rocks, we all have some things in our hearts that we have to deal with, but a lot of times we're blind to those things until the Lord highlights them. And you can't really, sometimes you can't go about the process of getting better if you don't even realize, you're sick in a way. So just truly ask the Lord to highlight the rocks and the things that are in your heart that He needs to remove. And I believe He'll definitely do it. Okay, so switching gears a little bit. So one thing I also just want to speak on a little bit is this matter of, instead of us focusing so much on other people, let's put that same energy into focusing and pouring into ourselves, not in a selfish way, but in a way that says, okay, I want all that God has for me, and me sitting around looking at other people, judging them, talking badly about them, that's not gonna get me to where I want to be at all. That might make me feel good for like a hot second, but that's not gonna get me to ultimately where I want to be. So let me put that energy on ultimately pouring into myself and like just doing what I need to overcome different like strongholds, overcome different wounds, overcome different fill in the blank, so that I can be like the best version of myself that I can be. So, and I don't say that like really in a selfish way, but obviously like the Lord has a good plan for all of our lives, but us focusing on all these kind of like petty things or all these like insignificant things isn't going to help us get to the plan that the Lord has for us. So I kind of believe the Lord's overarching will always happen, but there's sometimes like He has a specific will for you. And I don't know, I kind of feel like sometimes it's up to us if we're going to pursue, if that will is going to come to pass or not. Because it's like the Lord He can't make us do the things that He's calling us to do ultimately. And if you look throughout the Bible, you see people who truly were of value to the Lord. And then you also see people who maybe it's like the Lord had a plan, but then the anointing left them because they were focused on their own self-gain over focusing on the Lord. And so, yeah, I just say all that to say, let's run the race that is set before us. Let's pursue Christ. Let's not get focused on things that are going to distract us from like the plan that God has for us. Let's just fixate our gaze on Him and just have a mindset that is focused on a kingdom mindset. So a mindset that's focused on ultimately, number one, building up the Lord's kingdom in whatever way that looks like for Him, and also what it looks like in our own personal lives. So let me just read this verse to you guys that's really encouraged me. Okay, so 1 Corinthians 9:24, if you want to turn there as well. And it says, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it." So this verse just kind of reminds me, it's just something I like to tell myself, when I get overly fixated on things that really don't matter. It's just to stay in my lane, And I know some people are like, that's kind of harsh, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it's harsh, I think it's actually helpful because it's only going to hurt you to focus on other things that don't pertain to you. If you're overly fixated on that, it's just going to cause you to focus on things, cause you to get distracted, cause you just to fixate your eyes sometimes off of Christ, and now you're looking at something else, other people. So, ultimately that's kind of Satan. A lot of times all this is our tactics of Satan. But anyway, I just try to tell myself to stay in my lane. If I'm staying in my lane, if I'm running the race that's set before me, I don't have time to look at the person next to me. There is a time and a place, of course, for like pouring into other people, like pouring to our friends, pouring into the people that the Lord has set in our lives. There's a difference between pouring into someone, and focusing on people in that way, and focusing on people in a way that you're like comparing yourself to them. Comparison comes from more of a place, I would say, of the self. You're doing that because there's something like in yourself that's hurt and that's broken, and now you're comparing yourself, and it's bringing that up. Whether you're comparing yourself to someone who, they have something you want, or they look a certain way that you think is beautiful or pretty or whatever. And so there's times where we compare ourselves in that way. But then there's also times where we compare ourselves like, oh, like I have this, like inwardly we do, oh, I have this and this person doesn't. And that makes us feel kind of good about ourselves too. But both those things are coming from a self-seeking mindset. And so, yeah, I just pray that let's just take the time to let all that go and just stay in our lane, to fixate our eyes on what it is the Lord has for us and the path that He's set before us. And if we do that, we really don't have time to compare ourselves to other people, because we're out here pursuing what the Lord has put on our hearts to pursue. So anyway, I hope that really inspired you and that really gained you, put a fire in you even, and I hope that you're blessed from this video. If you were, like it, give it one of your thumbs, show me that you enjoyed it, that you appreciate it, and give it a big old thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And then also, if you're just enjoying this content, if you look forward to more of these videos to inspire you, encourage you to follow Christ, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me. And also take a time to drop a comment on what type of videos you would like to see in the future. Until next time, guys, remember I love you, and remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Bye, guys.